Good morning. This is Jason Dean coming live at you again for another Film Fanatic show. It is Tuesday at 10:09, so I hope everyone's doing good. I been doing lots of I've been doing a few. I did two music shows recently on my favorite band of all Techer. I've been checking out a lot of really amazing bootlegs that are on YouTube of their recent tour. I went to see them. Yesterday was a week ago already. It's crazy, and yeah, just a whirlwind of the last few weeks. And the concert was absolutely stunning. I just put up a show or review of the show and the whole kind of experience. It's kind of a long video, but there's a lot to talk about. And then I just uploaded a video on a review of this really great bootleg that I came across of them that was recorded pretty much from some guy's phone, but the audio was really killer. And I'm listening to another one right now. Kind of obsessed with them. So, and again, I want to thank, we've gotten some new subscribers again at 604. We got a few new subscribers. Last week, we reached 602 here at Film Fanatic headquarters as far as subscribers go. Really appreciate it. It's, that's the thing, talking about movies, the passion, the big feels that I have for movies, all those good things. And I love to incorporate music oriented shows. It's yeah, it's a really invaluable thing for me. And also, just to let people know, I have a quantum show coming up this Saturday. I like to always do a little bit of promotion for my band Quantum when I get a chance. So we have this show coming up on Saturday at Hey Sailor, which is kind of the best overall. I think it's kind of the best venue around, and we're going to be playing at Hey Sailor this Saturday with Mannequin Republic, who we actually played with the week before last. The band I've been playing in since I guess late winter, springtime of this year, Osmia, which has been such a great adventure. We played with this band that week, not this past weekend, the weekend before. We played up in Bangor with this band called Mannequin Republic, and so it was a little bit crazy because their drummer at that gig got a flat tire and couldn't make it to the show, so they ended up like having to wing it as a duo. But they got through it and it was fun and they made up. They never, they were professional and they got through it because I know that's tough. I've been in that situation before. But anyway, hopefully their whole band will be there. But we're going to be doing a quantum set along with Mannequin Republic. So, and another group that Osmia had played with at this really cool music festival in Rhode Island during the summer called So Over It. Really great punk band. Super cool people. I got to hang out with the lead singer of that band before they played at the festival, and we were playing I think before them, and there were two stages, and we ended up like hanging out and talking for a while. Super cool lady. So Over It. They're from Rhode Island. Really great punk band. So they're going to be playing also. I think this is their first time coming up to Maine. And then Isaac Raven, who is uh, a local based band, kind of indie rock punk band. We actually did a show with them last year at Hey Sailor. So it's going to be interesting. All punk bands and then some weird electronic music in the middle of it. So it starts at 7 o'clock. And it's this coming Saturday at Hey Sailor. So if you're around, please come on by. So I've been, again, I just did a big show on Frankenstein, the new Guillermo del Toro film. So check that out. I really appreciate people who have been commenting on the videos a lot. It's been really, really fun and fantastic. kind of the main reason I do this, just to kind of, I'll talk about my passion for movies, but then also to, kind of just maybe bring movies, especially when it comes to like super low budget exploitation movies, kind of, bringing things to light, bringing those movies to light, maybe putting a little light on them for what it's worth. So, and then as far as going to the theater, I just went this past weekend to see the new Frankenstein film, and I just uploaded yesterday my review. Really, I did enjoy it quite a bit. You can really tell that this was a serious passion project for Guillermo del Toro. I do love some of his films. I do think he's kind of hit or miss, and some people are, saying that Frankenstein is like this full-on like gothic masterpiece, which I enjoyed it. I think there were I had some issues with it. I don't think it's up on par with like Pan's Labyrinth, which is just a masterpiece, or even A Devil's Backbone, which I think is another masterpiece. So anyway, check out that review. People have been commenting on the video, and it was I really appreciate it. Overall, it was a good experience, and I did say that I don't know if it's still in the theaters. It might still be. It might be out, because I know was this going to be in the theaters for like basically 2 weeks, and then it was going to go to Netflix streaming, because it is a Netflix production. Super weird, but it is what it is. I do think it's a movie to see on the big screen. I got to see it in 4K, which was cool. And then this weekend, I think on Sunday, which I'm actually really excited to see, the new Predator movie, Predator Badlands, which is the kind of the follow up to Prey, which came out a couple of years ago. The same director, same team, which I thought that movie was awesome, and I'm really excited to see this new one. I've heard it's like totally different, totally original, so that's exciting. So I'm gonna go see it probably on Sunday, and I will definitely do a review, when that happens. And so, since I've been thinking a lot about Frankenstein, I watched I watched this movie probably about a month ago, maybe less, and I realized I did not do a review of it. And I really wanted to, because it's a really great movie, and I had only seen it, I've seen it a few times, but it had been a while. And that is Roger Corman's Frankenstein Unbound. This is a really fucking cool movie. I only have this on. This is a DVD copy. Pretty decent transfer. It's not terrific, but I think this would be a cool movie to get as an upgrade. This movie came out in 1990. It's directed by Roger Corman. I mean, of course, if anybody out there doesn't know who Roger Corman is, you got to get with the program, because Roger Corman's like one of the. He passed away fairly recently, but he's like one of my favorite people in the movie business, and especially in the world of exploitation movies. He's got such an insane amount of movies that he produced. He started the careers of so many iconic directors that are directors that went on to become household names. But he was really he produced so many amazing trashy exploitation movies. In the late 50s, 60s, 70s, and into the 80s, like decade after decade. He's so active, so prolific. And then he made the transition to, well, he would go back and forth, but he is, not only, I mean, he's most well known for producing a lot of these, so many classic kind of low budget exploitation movies, but he's a really awesome director as well. The Mask of the Red Death with Vincent Price is probably my favorite. That's my favorite Vincent Price movie, and it's also my favorite adaptation of a Edgar Allan Poe film, and I think it's my favorite Vincent Price film, and amazing. But he did a bunch of movies, as a director. And Frankenstein Unbound is really great. It's a really like kind of gonzo, crazy version of Frankenstein. I mean, when you think of Frankenstein, the story, Mary Shelley's book, I always forget how old that story is. It's almost 200 years old, and there's so many versions of this classic story, and it's such a part of our culture. I mean, it's you're not gonna find anybody in really in any walk of life that has never heard of Dracula or Frankenstein or the Wolfman or the Mummy. I mean, it's just part of our DNA as a culture. And that's all due to, Bram Stoker's book and Mary Shelley's book and then the classic Universal monster movies that came out, Bela Lugosi, Boris Karloff, Lon Chaney Jr., just iconic things. So anybody and everybody and their grandmother knows who these classic monsters are. I mean, it's just like it's like Godzilla. It's just like such a part of our DNA. And there's so many versions of Frankenstein. And the one thing that's really different, or maybe not so different, with Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein is it definitely is very much it's pretty in step with the original book, and there it does take some liberties, especially towards the end, and it does take some differences as far as the narrative, where this story kind of his version kind of focuses a little bit more on kind of where you're trying to, or he's trying to, for the audience's sake, trying to develop more empathy towards Frankenstein's monster, and trying to kind of like, I don't know, humanize him, build up a little more compassion for what his plight is, if you will. So it's a little bit different, and the ending is quite a bit different from the book. But I also really love this version because it's just so insanely different, and it's a wonderful cast, really, really great cast. Raul Julia, such an amazing actor. He passed away, I think, from a heart attack pretty young, but such an amazing actor, one of the best actors of his generation. And this also stars John Hurt, who is just iconic as hell. Bridget Fonda is also in this film. It's a really great film because it kind of is about more or less this. It's very much. I mean, it's got that gothic horror trappings, and it is very much a gothic story, but it is very much a science fiction story, and it's quite a bit different. So the basic premise is the physicist Dr. Bachman, who is played by John Hurt, builds a device capable of vaporizing anything it touches in hopes of ending war for once and for all. Unfortunately, when he's testing the prototype, the device accidentally sends Bachman hurtling into the year 1817. There he meets a kindred spirit, Dr. Victor Frankenstein, played by Raul Julia, who is hard at work and contending with the complications of his own misguided experiment. So this movie really gets wild and pretty crazy with the whole like time travel element, and it has this start to the film of where there is this. It's set in the future, and the world is basically ending, and then this machine is created, this time travel machine, by John Hurt's character, and it's wild. It's really good. It's way more. I mean, yeah, obviously Frankenstein has its deep ties to the science fiction genre, but this really goes even further because of the time machine application, the very futurist vibe. It's really great, and it's got some really good horror elements. It's kind of bizarre. It's kind of wacky. The creature design is actually really cool in this movie. I was impressed with this movie. I think it's actually really awesome. I had not seen this film in a long, long time. Again, it came out in 1990, so it's one of the later Roger Corman films, but really good. And I will have to say that as far as all of the adaptations of Frankenstein, that exist, it's it's probably one of the most original takes on this whole story. I really love how it's Roger Corman really set out to do something really, really different, really fantastical, kind of outrageous, and just an amazing cast with John Hurt. One of the greatest, two of the greatest actors, really. They are both dead, unfortunately, but amazing actors. And Raul Julia, he died really young, but what an incredible, when I think when in the movies that he's made, I think he was one of the greatest actors at that time around. So versatile. And so he plays Dr. Frankenstein in this film. But really, really cool. Great music, actually. I love the heavy sci-fi element, the time travel element, which is really original. It's some really beautiful cinematography, really good script. Really, it's a very exciting movie, and it still has that the classic kind of gothic aesthetic that you would expect for a Frankenstein adaptation. But really awesome movie. I don't know where I've had this DVD for a super long time. I don't know where I got it. I can't remember. I think I probably bought it at Goodwill a few years ago. But highly recommend it. I'd buy this on Blu-ray. I think too. I'm a massive, like I just said, I'm a massive, massive Roger Corman fan. He is, I think one of the most important figures, in the world of cinema, and especially in the world of low-budget exploitation movies. Not only as a producer, but as a director, and then him, with all of the, you know, incredible directors and household name directors that came through his camp. Like, it's insane. Like John Carpenter, um, Francis Ford Coppola, um, James Cameron. I mean, it's insane. So, and he could make that transition between being a producer, producing, financing, distributing all of these like insane movies, but then also acting as a director himself. And he also was a pretty good actor. So amazing. He's always been one of my favorites, and this is a really great movie. Highly recommend it. So thanks again, and we will see you next time. Peace.